Somebody stop me. Okay, so gonna take a quick diversion, not really though, into the Voynich manuscript. If you haven't heard of it before, go check it out. It's a rather interesting gypsy grimoire. No one knows who did it. Contains pretty much the most unbreakable code in the history of mankind. They reckon they figured it out now where the language comes from, but like I said once before, it's the literature they pulled out of it is not as interesting as what the depictions describe, and I think the pictures worth more than 1,000 words anyway. So we've been analysing the female of the species and analysing why it is more deadlier than the male in this arena. Sorry about that. Now you can clean up those discrepancies yourself. I'm not here to baby anyone's poor little mind. I'm here to get to the truth. So what we see in the Voynich are a lot of weedy, herbaceous plants, not really even edible. You wonder why someone would document these. And it's showing a relationship in consciousness there. As we've been seeing, we've been using the things, natural systems in nature and types of consciousness surrounding creation of these things. So yeah, we're going to look at the women, because in the Voynich it's focused on women. There's like maybe one or two dudes in the whole thing. Here we can see the women in their little gene pool. And that's not the only pool. There's pools all through it. There's another pool where they're paired off into their little nice lesbian couples. Now if we're truthful with ourselves and we look at these women, now what do they look like? And they are in fact manly women. Now this is a very, I believe, an old race. Gypsies, they would have originated in Egypt, and as those gypsy bloodlines spread around, yeah, these interesting groups pop up. There's a bit of mandrake, it looks like. Now I thought I'd just do this because I was watching Crime Pays but Botany Doesn't, the guy who does those videos. He was kind of brought to my attention, and more recently came across the wasp and orchid relationship, where the orchid dupes the wasp, and as he said, this relationship would have been beneficial at one time for both of them, but something's happened there. And we're relating this system to divine coupling and showing why the divine, regardless of a Cathar belief, while it's more psychological appropriate to the human psyche and as a belief system, having a male and female counterpart, it's still just another story. As Da Vinci points out, with the separation, we see the female character on the side of, firstly, Da Vinci's using the characters to tell his own story, and there's two sides to that story. One side we see the Judas character who has the money bag, we see the character that carries the knife, bad elements on that side. But we're looking at this gene pool here, and they're highly aware of their own nature. The fact that they've become manly women is interesting in this, I'm sure to call it a degeneration of genetics, but there's definitely a conflict to mix there. And yeah, anyway, back to the botany dude. He was talking about how, like, these the animals on the island of Australia have evolved to eat these poisonous plants, marsupials, up to a quarter of their diet is these poisonous plants, and it'll kill any other animal that eats these plants. Any animal in the world that hasn't, evolved with these plants around for millions of years. So the kangaroos are sweet. Yeah, and then, so I hope I'm not being too confusing, but anyway, it's a lot to take in. So we've been looking at the tomb, showing how what is within symbolically speaking, what is in the genome, the gene, the DNA, is not equal to what the eye sees on the surface. In the case of Da Vinci, not falling for this structural deception, these structures that fool the eye into producing a familiarity in the mind, which can lead to a attraction there. So he didn't get duped with that one. He analysed it, and he seen what was going on there. So yeah, the manly women, we've been discussing left and right awareness, divine feminine consciousness. Yeah. Now, being aware of one's nature is the key here. As we see, this group, although have become perhaps have a venomous fertility, like the plants we've been discussing. Yeah, what are those plants? Oh, there's some anyway. So yeah, the relationship between the human and the natural environment around them evolving together, mutually. Now, despite this venomous nature that these certain gypsy clan are aware of, they know how to deal with it. They know what the go is. And what I should point out, I should go back to this. Now in Egypt, fertility was pretty much seen as venom. It's a very dangerous thing. You can really screw shit up, spreading your fertility around where it's not appropriate. And we're going to show why originally the divine lines of the pharaohs didn't interbreed with humans until a certain time, when they ended. They did pass something on to us, and we are supposed, it's in there, it's hiding, and we're supposed to bring it out. We're supposed to grow that seed, if you know how. Okay, but I'll leave you with this. We're talking about venomous fertility, and I told you about the bee theme in this for more reasons that I'm going to go into. We're going to go deeper into this perspective, but just to show you, there's a lot of stuff hidden in here that you wouldn't really notice, as we see it on the posterior of an Uxuna moon. The character in question, we see a stinger, like a bee or a wasp. Goes a bit rounded and then has a nice little sharp point at the end, which usually gets stuck. It goes into Masonism, like Rosicrucianism, Masonism. They always have the bee connection, like there's the rose and the bees floating around the rose, highly symbolic. But this, okay, we see one there, but if we look here, there's also another sting here, some other sting here. There's like stings pretty much all the way up. She is full of venom, full of it. That's what it's telling you. A venomous fertility. And yeah, so we know through divine knowledge that the continuation of the bloodline did not occur the way even the alternative stories suggest. Okay, this is all hidden from you. We're talking about a hidden fertility, which later down the track we're going to go into. And it relates to Horus and how he was created too, and Masonic initiations. We're going to go into an asexual form, fertility. Going to look at the queen of the hive, queen bee, her relevance and her relevance to Isis, and even go into a bit of star seeding there. So yeah, surrounding in the center of all occult knowledge we see Isis. But anyway, it's another video. I hope you are following all these introductions. These are all just introductions into the subjects that eventually be covered here in this place. Alrighty, boys and girls and everything in between and on the fringe, whatever yous are, know thyself.